Hello everyone, welcome to Logic Medico. Today's interesting topic is Boutonniere's deformity. Before understanding this deformity, let's see what is there on the dorsal surface of each digit. On the dorsal surface of each digit, there is one expansion, a triangular expansion. It's called dorsal digital expansion. This dorsal digital expansion is actually an extension from the extensor digitorum muscle. So this extensor digitorum triangular expansion, it will form. The base of this triangle forms the hood for the head of the metacarpal, while the apex trifurcates into three slips, a median slip and two lateral slips. I'll tell you why I'm telling you this. The median slips get attached to the middle phalanx. The two lateral slips reunite to get attached to the distal phalanx. So what happens? This dorsal digital expansion is there, no? This dorsal digital expansion, the base helps in the extension of the proximal phalanx. The central slip makes the extension of the middle phalanx. The two lateral slips which reunites to get attached to the distal phalanx causes the extension of distal phalanx. This is how one tendon, extensor digitorum tendon, can cause extension of all the three phalanx, the proximal, the middle and the distal phalanx. All three phalanx, proximal, middle and the distal phalanx. All three phalanx expansion is possible, extension is possible because of this phenomenon of dorsal digital expansion. Now what exactly happens in Boutonniere's deformity is that instead of the finger being straight like this, it is actually too much of bending will be there at the proximal interphalangeal joint with hyperextension at the distal interphalangeal joint. So if this is the finger and this is the nail, see, this is what will happen. So why did this occur actually? If at all there is a rupture to this central tendon which is going to the middle phalanx, this central tendon, if there is a rupture of that, trauma or rheumatoid arthritis, any reason, because of what happens, because of that there is no extension, instead there is a flexion, because we have the flexor tendon, flexor digitorum superficialis and profundus. So because of flexor digitorum tendon superficialis and profundus, there is a flexion at the proximal interphalangeal. Why? There is a rupture of the central tendon, central slip of the extensor digitorum. The two lateral slips which reunite to the distal phalanx, right? That is still intact. When it is intact, it causes hyperextension. When there is hyperextension here, so this is how it looks. This is the finger of the patient. Instead of being in a straight line like this, there is too much of flexion in this joint, proximal interphalangeal joint, and too much of extension in this joint, distal interphalangeal. You can see that here. Why? Trauma to the central slip of the, this central slip is there, no, this one. This central slip, trauma to the central slip of the extensor digitorum or dorsal digital expansion, either due to inflammation or due to a cut or due to an injury to the central slip, results in hyperflexion of the proximal interphalangeal joint, this area, because the flexor tendon is going to pull that forward, and followed by, because of the unopposed action over here, the two lateral slips of extensor digitorum causes hyperextension of the distal interphalangeal joint. So hyperflexion of the proximal interphalangeal followed by hyperextension of the distal interphalangeal joint is called as Boutonniere's deformity. The Boutonniere's is called Boutonniere's because when you see the patient's dorsum of the hand, this is the nail, it appears like there is one button hole here, similar to the buttons at the middle interphalangeal joint. Because of the hyperflexion, it appears like there is a button holes here. So therefore it's called as Boutonniere's deformity. Thank you for watching, learning and watching from Logic Medico. Kindly subscribe to our channel and don't forget to press the bell icon. Thank you once again.